quickly get into it, and let's start our conversation firstly from understanding Article 71 of the Constitution, which obviously speaks on the eligibility of one to be elected as a member of Parliament. And how can we also relate this to Mr. Joe Malanji's case?
Well, I mean, the Constitution under the article you've cited for Comrade Malanji is that he has to possess a grade 12 certificate at the point of nominations. So there should be a grade 12 qualification as a prerequisite for you to be nominated. And if you don't have that, then you were in the first place not supposed to have been nominated because that would have been a fraud to have used other means other than what has been spelled out in the Constitution to be the only means for you to be nominated. So if that was not there, then it was a violation of the Constitution itself.
What does this also speak to in terms of our ECZs? Obviously, there's the Electoral Commission of Zambia, who obviously played a major role in at least verifying that these candidates are eligible to stand and contest the elections. There's also the Examination Council of Zambia, where they had to certify that, well, these results are truly authentic. Looking at the outcome from this judgment, what do you think this speaks to in terms of these two bodies?
Well, I mean, first, it is also wrong for anyone to condemn the Electoral Commission of Zambia at this point, because the Electoral Commission of Zambia gets confirmed results from the Examination Council of Zambia. So the only organization or institutions that we are supposed to question is the Examination Council of Zambia. How did they confirm or verify results that are now questionable and that have resulted into the nullification of an election? I think that is where we have to ask them more questions than the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The Electoral Commission of Zambia just receives confirmed results, verified results. It has no mandate whatsoever to go again to re-verify what has been verified by the Examination Council of Zambia. So this is where the lacuna is. It's not with the Electoral Commission, but the lacuna is with the Examination Council of Zambia. The role of the commission is to conduct election, is to ensure that those that come for nominations have the prerequisites as outlined in the Constitution. Grade 12, they have done their declaration of assets and liabilities. They are not serving any sentence, prison sentence. No, they are 18 and above. They are registered voters. Those are the things that the ECZ will look. If they are okay, then they'll go ahead and give you the nomination certificate. But if those things, for example, you talk of declaration of assets, there is no one who verifies, okay, whether what you have declared here is true. If I declare a one computer, they will just say, okay, McDonald has only one computer. Okay, he has declared his liability. When his assets. When they ask what are your liabilities, no, I only have Lobola Congole. I haven't paid Lobola, part of Lobola. That they will indicate there. No, you have qualified. Go to the next one. So the people that are verifying before these documents are before the Electoral Commission of Zambia are the ones that we need to put to task now if we have to bring credibility in our electoral process.
And I know what has also come out from this is, the whole process of justice for Mr. Malanji and others feeling that it wasn't exactly fair, especially considering the dissenting judgment that talks about the petitioner here not providing evidence here and the courts having to come in on that. What is your comment on this argument that has come through also from those in defense of Mr. Malanji?
Well, I mean, the issue is that the prayer by the petitioner was that this young man was that this person had no grade 12. Okay? So there was corruption there was violence there, and there's grade 12 thing. And if you read or if you followed the ruling of the High Court, they found corruption, they found violence, I think other things. For them, they validated those that they happened, and also grade 12. Now, when you are taken to court, and of course, there's this argument that the burden of proof lies in the accused for criminal cases. Now, if you don't want to be where Comrade Malanja has fallen into, you go with your certificate. There's nothing wrong. You submit your certificate. If at that time we are ambushed, there is time that you are given in court where you submit written submissions. You attach your certificate there to say this is a certificate these people are saying is not there. Now, if the judgment, if the court process at high court level ended, you have not submitted anything, then it comes to appeal court, and that's when you say, no, I have a certificate, I want to. I mean, people have their own, they'll build their own speculations as to why you failed in the first place. If it's lost, go to the police, get a police report, and give it as evidence in the court to say, well, I couldn't get certificate, it was stolen. And here's a police report. That is valid enough for the court to see whether they can accept that and give you a chance to go and look for a duplicate certificate. That is how that happens. So now to have not just is as good as not to have the certificate itself.
Let's talk about the grade 12 qualification or the certificate itself. And we know that it is one of the requirements for one to be able to be nominated to contest in a parliamentary by-election. But we know that Article 70 of the Constitution also speaks on one needs to have a grade 12 certificate or its equivalent. What exactly is equivalent to a grade 12 certificate? Maybe you can help us understand this also.
Well, I mean, the Examination Council of Zambia has defined equivalent. Equivalent is GCE, where General Certificate of Education, there are Cambridge, there are things that they are looking there for them to be equivalent, because they are them Form 5, before I think around 85, people still get Form 5. So Form 5s and grade 12s, they may be different in terms of the way they are called. But the subjects that they are looking for are very clear in the examination. They explained that it's one who has got 6 credits, 5 credits and better. Okay, you'd have maybe a merit, 1 merit, and the rest can be credits, or 2 merits, the rest can. So the Examination Council of Zambia have given a very comprehensive. Actually, before 2021, there was a debate over grade 12. So for anyone to go without having verified his grade 12 or her grade 12, then that is a problem. That is a problem, and that was taking the system for granted. And you remember that even toward the 2016, 2021 general election, a number of individuals were found wanting for having presented certificates that actually are recognized by the Examination Council of Zambia. So we don't know how these people are so slippery in getting into these certificates, where they get them, how they get them. I think somebody somewhere must be able to investigate and find out exactly what is involved.
Now, let's look at the 2 issues of the individuals from the Patriotic Front whose elections have been nullified, Mr. Lusambo and now Mr. Malanji, and the possibilities of the 2 recontesting. With Mr. Lusambo, I mean, that was the initial conversation on the possibility of this doing so, people basing it off the judgment from the Court, which didn't exactly bar him from doing so, but now the conversation being on, well, the grounds too being that there was violence and what the electoral Process Act also speaks to. There was that conversation, and what has come up now is that he could actually even be recontesting on the Patriotic Front seat. That's on one thing. And then there's also Mr. Malanji, who is saying the grade 12 certificate is available now, even though the evidence being available during the hearing at the court. But with the two situations here, what are the possibilities of the two individuals recontesting or qualifying actually to recontest the by-election?
I think for Bwana Lusambo is an uncontestable fact that he is eligible to contest an election because the nullification of his seat, his election, does not disqualify him from contesting a seat.